China has been making some moves. Liquidity is the name of the game. The People's Bank of China is no different than the Fed, the ECB, and the Bank of Japan. They all manipulate liquidity in order to distort markets in their favor. Sometimes they work against each other, and this is known as a currency war. And it's on right now. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. We are going to cover China today to look at what they're doing. In fact, they've created an all-time record debt in 1 month, $540 billion worth. Injecting this in, let's begin with this. China's central bank restarted the use of an instrument that adds cash to the financial system, helping ease liquidity concerns before $153 billion of funds come due this week. This is huge news today, and it connects in with another article that I'll show you in a moment. The Monetary Authority sold a total of 100 billion yuan, that's 14.5 billion, of reverse repurchase agreements, reverse repos. The first auction after a 6-day pause, a statement posted on the website showed. Talks about the open market operations. This is very important. Resulted in a net withdrawal of 90 billion yuan, and goes on. This is key. It's important to know. And this is the open market operations are the strategy that central banks use in order to manipulate the markets. It's very important, very, very important to understand that. I talk about it in my new book. This here, the chart may be a little difficult for you to tell exactly what's going on, but we're going to read the bolded part. In January, right here, starting here, in January, Beijing injected the greatest amount of aggregate monthly credit between bank and shadow loans, i.e. total social financing, on record, amounting to an all-time high of $540 billion worth. This is massive. This is gigantic. And you can see what's happening in China right now. There are major changes which are going on. China is supporting their markets, supporting a false economy, but it's no different than what other central banks are doing as well. But what I've noticed over the years is that they don't all necessarily need to print at one time because the way that the currency flows. If they were to print money today, it might not see an increase in asset prices for, let's say, months or potentially years down the road. That's not how it works. It doesn't just, get printed and immediately have an effect. It's not necessarily the case. It takes a while to have that current, that flow. Remember that. So let's look at what they're doing as well. China's holdings of U.S. Treasuries declined by the most on record last year, as the world's second largest economy dipped into its foreign exchange reserves to buttress the yuan. Japan, America's largest foreign creditor, trimmed its holdings for a second straight year. So I'll ask the question once again, and I know that many of you replied on the last one when I asked this. Who will be the buyer when the biggest creditors are selling? You tell me who. A monthly Treasury Department report released showed China held $1 trillion in government bonds. And that's definitely a significant number, no matter how you slice it. They've decreased, perhaps, they've sold off some, or potentially not purchased that much compared to previous. But it shows a trend, one which has been increasing as of late. And it's suggesting right here that they've been burned through a quarter of its war chest since 2014 in an effort to underpin the yuan and deter capital from fleeing the country. That's important as well. All right, we're going to go through a whole bunch of charts now. Let's see this. Maturity pressure, liquidity challenge as the pre-lunar new year comes due. Reverse repos. And you can see that it's quite dismal as the days go on here. Hang Seng China Enterprises Index. This is showing you, let's say, 10 days or so. And what we will note from here is it's going up and up and up. And what else is going up? China rebar futures up and up and up. Shanghai rubber futures going up as well. Copper futures up as well. Iron ore futures. Basically, all of these commodities are rising at this time. That's a good sign if you believe that there will either be inflation or there is going to be some sort of stimulus added to the economy, whether that is building buildings, whether more ghost cities or anything else, just general infrastructure. They need raw materials, and these seem to be increasing at this time. And this right here is obviously the USD versus the yuan or renminbi. And the exchange rate has been declining yet again. Several days here of straight decline. That's something that has been noted over time. They're saying that they're doing this in order to reduce capital flight. They need to keep the money in, but I do see overall, you zoom this chart back to a 10-year, for example, and you'll get a bigger picture, a much different picture. But this is sort of the short-term trend, and I do believe it is important to look at that. Last but not least, China sells most on record. So this is a chart showing you that nation owns fewer U.S. Treasuries to fight the capital outflows. And look at that significant amount. This chart goes back to, let's say, 2001 or so, and you have not seen a level anywhere near this. So this is very big news, and I hope that it is brought more into the mainstream. We need to get people to understand how the nation's, maybe the biggest creditor or maybe the second biggest creditor at any given moment, but when they start selling off that debt, it's a very, very serious problem, because guess who has to come and save the day? If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, well then you're going to find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. I've actually gone and taken this subject of finance and made it very easy. And I've done so using charts and diagrams, which I have drawn up for this book. So if you go over to Amazon, you can actually look through the book and flip through the pages for yourself. Take care. If you're still here, I just wanted to let you know that my new book, Global Economic Collapse, has been submitted to Amazon. They're doing their little review, and this will hopefully be able to be viewed. I'm hoping tomorrow. I don't know how long it takes for them to do their process, but as early as tomorrow, I will definitely be mentioning it in a video, of course. So stay tuned for that. I am also doing a video on X22 report. Don't tell anybody I said that. And that will happen tomorrow night. As of this recording, it will be tomorrow night. And I don't know when he's going to post it, but look for the X22 spotlight. I'll be on there. I know a lot of you are fans of Dave as well, so check that out. Take care.